Manatreed, in just 3 days of officially being a content creator, has become one of the most controversial online personalities in internet history. No one can seem to agree on who he was. Was he an innocent and naive kid who wanted to follow his dreams of content creation, but got screwed by the evil trolls and doxers? Was he an industry plant artificially constructed by Dream and his goon squad that had a scandalous past? Was he something else entirely? Let me answer these questions right now. I honestly have no clue, and if you think you know who or what Manatreed was, then you are either misguided or Manatreed himself. I will be honest and say that I'm leaning more towards the idea that Manatreed is guilty, but no one can 100% say for sure. This video just serves to present all the information regarding Manatreed, and also provides evidence for and against the various theories about him. I would recommend watching this whole video and then forming your own opinion, although you could skip the first section if you are already familiar with Manatreed. So, let's get right into it. Manatreed created his account on June 18th, 2021 and made his first tweet on the same day. In it, he says, "Hey, my name is Ollie. I'm a faceless creator and I'm trying to start new. My dream since I was a kid is to be a streamer, and I hope you can help make that dream come true, smiley face." His next tweet was over a week later, and it was just 2 pictures, supposedly of Manatreed in real life. He tweeted again in July, although it was only a red heart. If you are a normal person, you probably would not think of these tweets as anything special. However, no one in this story is normal. Over time, Manatreed's 3 tweets somehow began to spread around MCYT circles, and a theory was formed that he was an alternate account of Dream. The evidence includes the red heart tweet, being a faceless creator, being white, and mentioning having a dream in his tweet. Real damning, I know. After months of inactivity, Manatreed suddenly came back to Twitter. He first retweeted a tweet by Dream, where he said he was looking for new members of the Dream SMP. He then started an Instagram, and made some tweets where he joked with the theory that he was Dream. At this point, Dream and his goon squad had seen the Manatreed Dream theory, and they also started getting in on the action. This blew Manatreed up even more, and he hit 200k followers on Twitter in mid-November. He began to interact with Dream and his goon squad more often, and was even invited to the What the Dog Doing Twitter thread. On November 28th, 2021, Mana tweeted out he was officially a member of the Dream SMP. While taken as a joke at first, Mana was serious, and he and Dream's goons began to hype up his first stream for the next few months. Yes, I do mean his first stream. Mana did all this without having touched actual content creation once. He did not even start a TikTok. Unsurprisingly, some people were a little confused on why Dream would invite Mana to the Dream SMP without him actually making any content. Again, speculation started on who Manatreed was. Was he still this Dream on an alt? Was he an ARG? Was he one of Dream's old MC PvP buddies? Was he really just some random creator who impressed Dream on charisma alone? No one truly knew what was going on except for Dream and maybe his goons, so the hype was building around Mana's first stream. Even me, someone who has never watched a single Dream SMP stream, was following Manatreed and interested in what he turned out to be. And on January 29th, 2022, we got our answer. Manatreed's one and only stream was on January 29th, 2022. The stream lasted for 2 hours, and was mostly just him, Dream, and a few other creators walking around the Dream SMP server. He debuted to a peak of over 200,000 concurrent viewers, which is higher than most other Dream SMPers' peak viewership. However, it was revealed during the stream that Manatreed was an old friend of Dream's from his MC PvP days. While it wasn't clear if they stayed in contact throughout the years, or if they reconnected after Manatreed started his Twitter account, either way, it became evident that Dream did not just put his faith in some random streamer, and instead knew Manatreed pretty well. Some people got mad that Manatreed was just given a platform for no reason other than nepotism, but other streamers like Boomer Renee and Tapple defended Manatreed and criticized this mindset. After Manatreed's first stream, he posted another picture of his chin on Twitter, showing off his Willy Wonka haircut, and he made another thread thanking everyone for their support, where he mentioned being homeless for a little bit. But that was basically all of the information on Manatreed before the drama started. He was just another one of Dream's old friends that Dream decided to turn into an internet sensation overnight. It is likely that, had terminally online people not existed, Manatreed would go on to be a very successful content creator with thousands of loving fans. However, this is a Dream SMP, You already know some people are going to ruin it for everyone. Before I get into the rest of the video, I need to make this disclaimer. The evidence surrounding the accusations I talk about in this video almost solely rely on information achieved from doxing. While I would like to show all of the evidence because I believe that is the only way to paint a clear picture of what happened, if I did show all the dox information, this video would probably get deleted from YouTube. I also will not be providing links to sources that show the dox information for the same reason. I do have a few exceptions though. First, it should be common knowledge by now that Dream's real name is Clay, and while Dream claims that his legal first name is literally Clay and not Clayton, doxers claim otherwise, and it is such a small detail that I will not bother to try and hide it. Doxers also claim that Dream has a brother with the first name Colton. Technically, this is personal information that Dream has not revealed, but you cannot really do anything with a first name alone, so I do not believe I need to censor it. Plus, this also plays a role in the story that I'll get to in a moment. Finally, things like Minecraft usernames, email accounts, and online aliases, I will not try to hide, because those things aren't really personal information. Now, let's move on with the video. Back in June, you may remember that Dream's face supposedly got leaked and spread all over Twitter, along with the rest of his docs. To this day, there is no consensus over if that leak was real, but I'll try to prove its validity while trying to give the least personal info about Dream, as proving this dox was real is important to the Manatreed situation. People found a YouTube channel months after the dox, which is still up as of recording, called Coltrane. One of the videos on this channel is a video of Coltrane playing Minecraft VR with a shock collar. In the video, he makes multiple references to his brother, occasionally referring to him as Dream, and he also mentions a George. He even shows the shock collar at the end of the video, and it has a Dream sticker on it. This video is speculated to have been made by Dream's alleged brother from the dox, Colton, a theory that I believe. This video was made before Dream's dox was ever leaked, so this is not some troll trying to make false evidence for the dox. Technically, this could be some huge coincidence, but I'm pretty confident in saying that Dream is the person from the June dox thanks to this YouTube channel. Now that I have established that the Dream dox was probably true, we can talk about how this relates to Manatreed. One of the original sources of the Dream dox was a Facebook account named River Phoenix, which posted numerous pictures of River hanging out with Dream. Within hours of Manatreed's first stream ending, terminally online weirdos on Tumblr reinvestigated the River Phoenix account and were able to connect it to a real person. The proof is on screen now, but basically all of it had to be censored. They then found court records showing that River Phoenix was arrested in early 2021 for domestic abuse, and a month later he was charged with battery. They also found that he had lived in Dream's house in September of 2021. This information was quickly spread around Kiwi Farms, a website dedicated to documenting controversial online figures, and then Twitter, which is where the greater MCYT community picked up on it. Already, people were a bit weirded out that Dream had associated himself with someone with a criminal record, but then a theory began to form. What if Manatreed was actually River Phoenix? The evidence for this theory is as follows. Before River's online presence was completely wiped from existence, his mom's Instagram account was found, and the only person she followed from the Dream SMP was Manatreed. The real name of River was allegedly banned in Manatreed's Twitch chat, although I do not think any proof of this ever came to fruition. A Twitter account is found of River's where he talks about needing money and being homeless, which matched up with Manatreed claiming he was also poor and homeless for a while. River's birthday, found on his Facebook account, is only a day off of Manatreed's. Dream and Manatreed also have the same pair of gloves, which could be because Dream and Manatreed lived together and shared the same objects. Manatreed talked about having an emo phase when he was younger, and old pictures of River definitely seem to be from an emo phase. Finally, a lot of people claim that River and Manatreed have very similar physical characteristics. Both have long brown hair and are light-skinned. Those are all the similar physical characteristics. There are other kinda irrelevant but kinda relevant things that got leaked regarding Manatreed and Dream. Someone found an old YouTube channel called Audifrost that had a video on it called Minecraft Grew for Territory. In the video, you can see Audifrost is in a Skype call with a guy named Clayton and a guy whose name matches up with River's real name. The Minecraft accounts used in the video also draw suspicion. One of them, DieQuick23, is an alleged old account of Dream's, and the other one, GTDog97, is currently named Colton Slave, which could be a reference to Dream's brother. An IP address for a Minecraft server given out on that channel also seems to be located in Florida. Another YouTube channel was found which allegedly had videos of Dream and River in them. In one of them, you can see the person assumed to be Dream playing MC PvP, a server Dream used to play on a ton. There was also a theory going around that River was a stunt double for Dream. This stems from a theory that Dream uses his brother Colton in his merch pictures because his fans would be turned off by his real appearance. There is not much evidence to this theory, besides that River stands similarly to Dream does in one photo. People also found a post by Twitter user _Lawsy that claimed that someone under Dream's phone number joined Snapchat under the name Manatreed on June 12, 2021, which was before Manatreed made any tweets. Manatreed was also allegedly using the email dreamonpvp@gmail.com, which was Dream's old username. However, the validity of these claims I am unsure about, especially the email one, as I could not find what, if anything, Manatreed used the email for. If this is true though, it proves that Dream and Manatreed had to have been in contact before Manatreed got into content creation. Someone also joined Kiwi Farms to post Manatreed's response to the drama, although people quickly realized that you could see the view analytics button on the tweet. This is a button you can only see if you are the person who made that tweet. However, this does not prove anything, as this could easily be photoshopped, and even if it is Manatreed posted on Kiwi Farms, he could have been lurking on Kiwi Farms for any number of reasons. I believe this is all the information regarding Manatreed, River Phoenix, and Dream we currently have. If any of this information is proven wrong, I'll either mark that in the description or in a comment. So now, I want to get into the reaction to all this being exposed by weird Dream stans. Many Dream SMP stans, along with the rest of the Minecraft community in general, began to speculate on whether or not the claims being made were true. Manatreed also acknowledged the situation pretty quickly, and responded in a thread of tweets, which I will read now. I've never abused a woman, I've never been arrested. I can't believe I even have to say anything. So disgusted and crazy that this is only day one of my streaming experience. Not even sure how people come up with this stuff. To people saying they can't just take my word, I don't even know what to say. I'm not even being accused. A guy with a random name, date of birth, and location is being said to be me because our chins look similar. I can't even comment on anything without doxing myself. It's depressing. Sorry to anyone that's been put through stress. I would obviously never hit a woman, and I'm just dumbfounded about the whole situation. It's very frustrating. My heart goes out to anyone that needs it. Dream also subtweeted the situation on his private Twitter, saying, "People can be so gullible, annoyed emoji." He made a follow-up post further explaining his initial thoughts, but it's kind of a nothing burger, so I'll not bother reading it out loud. However, then Dream deactivated his private Twitter, which caused an even bigger uproar from his fans. During this time, an alternative dox regarding Manatreed was created, made from using another alleged email Manatreed had, manatreed1997@gmail.com. This email contained a different name with the first name Ollie, so stans began to spread the claim that this was the real Manatreed. Other stans believe that Dream would not willingly support an abuser, considering he is a victim of domestic abuse himself, and he also had a very quick reaction time to Takeshi, another Dream SMP member, being exposed as a groomer. But a lot of people still remain unconvinced. It is also worth noting that, as far as I'm aware, literally no other content creator associated with Dream was commenting on this situation. This was a far cry from the previous Manatreed drama, where you had many other creators defending him. Nobody knew what would happen next until the morning of February 1st, 2022, when the situation was seemingly resolved. On that morning, Dream posted a tweet longer with a simple caption, "Mana." It is pretty long, so I'll not bother trying to read all of it, but here is a summary. First, Dream claims that he is unaware of any friends with a history of domestic abuse, and that he would never support them if they turned out they had committed domestic violence. Next, he says the entire situation revolves around his dox, which he claims is false, and that he cannot disprove the allegations because that would mean given his real dox. Then, he talks about his own experience as a victim of domestic abuse, and claimed he deactivated because of seeing the word abuse everywhere. In paragraph 4, Dream says that he kicked Manatreed from the Dream SMP, with his exact words being, "Due to how complicated the situation is to approach due to the circumstances, I decided to just remove Manatreed from the SMP." But, he also says that Manatreed wanted to quit content creation as well. Finally, he says that he was actually able to reach out to the victim in River Phoenix's domestic abuse case, and all she told him that she wants to be left alone. After this tweet, Manatreed deactivated on Twitter and Instagram, and has not streamed on Twitch. And Dream and his goons have not talked about him since. Now that I have laid out almost all the information surrounding Manatreed and his removal from the Dream SMP, I can go over some of the theories about Manatreed. Theory 1. Dream and Manatreed are 100% innocent, Manatreed is not River, Dream does not know River in real life, and Manatreed was not an industry plant by Dream. This theory is a surprisingly common one, as I believe that this is the only one that can be disproven. I even saw some people claim that River's real identity is not a person and completely made up, which is easily disproved if we just search up his real name. It is also pretty obvious that River Phoenix and the person assumed to be Dream knew each other in real life, because there are so many pictures and videos of them together. And I illustrated that the person assumed to be Dream is most likely Dream through the Culture YouTube channel. There is also the Snapchat of Manatreed that allegedly used Dream's number, and while I was unable to confirm if that screenshot was real, keep in mind that the post was made from before Manatreed ever started posting on social media. That would have to be one major coincidence to be fake. The next theory is that, although Dream probably knew River Phoenix in real life, Manatreed is 100% innocent and he is not River Phoenix. Personally, I do not think this theory is the correct one, but I do think there is a big chance of it being true. There is not really any major piece of evidence for this theory, but the main idea is that there is a lack of evidence tying River to Manatreed, and the evidence that is available is all just one big coincidence. And to be fair, the idea that there is more than one young white guy with long brown hair and a birthday in the summer, who has been temporarily homeless, went through an emo phase in their youth, and knew Dream at some point, is not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, if I did not shave for a month and bought the black mushroom sweatshirt, it is possible that I could make myself look like Manatreed. There are various other pieces of evidence for and against this theory. Some people claim that when Manatreed was allegedly living in Dream's house, Dream had moved out of it, so Dream could not have been housed in Manatreed. This fact may be true, but I do not think it is that big of a deal. Whether Manatreed was living with Dream or not does not really matter. People have also questioned the validity of the claim that River's real name was banned in Manatreed's Twitch chat, which I think is fair, as I have not seen any real proof that it was banned. People also claim that Dream's opening paragraph in his Twitlonger proves that Manatreed is not River, because Dream is claiming to have never been friends with an abuser, although he could just say Dream is lying. There is one irrefutable piece of evidence I have no explanation for in favor of this theory, and is that River has a cleft chin, while Manatreed does not. I guess Mana could have photoshopped the images, or the cleft chin is just not visible from the camera angle he uses, but I do not think those are good explanations. But, on the other hand, this theory does not have a good explanation for River's mom following Manatreed on social media, without following any other Dream SMP members. You could argue that she was just really interested in Manatreed's story, but I would think you would at least follow a few other people in the Minecraft community. There's one more thing I want to mention before I want to move on to the less charitable Manatreed theories. I previously mentioned that some people found an email Manatreed allegedly owned, manatreed1997@gmail.com. This email had a name attached to it with the first name Ollie. That same thread also had a bunch of other accusations in support of Manatreed being this guy and not River. However, I will try to discredit this post right now. First off, I am unsure of, if anything, Mana used this email for. If you were just to take this email at face value, then you would, by extension, have to take the dreamonpvp@gmail.com email at face value. This email, also allegedly owned by Manatreed, uses a different name from both the Manatreed 1997 email and River's real name. The other claims made by this account do not have any evidence attached to them, and can still be discredited by the fact that people can lie about their identity online. Manatreed could have lied about his birthday, his height, and his location in Florida, especially if he was already lying about his real name. The next theory is that Manatreed really was River, which Dream obviously would have known, and that Dream kicked him out when his past was exposed. There are two different versions of this theory, which are if Dream knew if River was arrested for domestic abuse or not. I think, if this theory is true, Dream probably did not know, because I do not think Dream would be dumb enough to bring on River into his SMP just weeks after his docs, which connected him to River, was released, but no one can say if Dream knew or not for sure except Dream. Anyway, I have already gone over all the main evidence for this theory, but there are a few things in Dream's Twitlonger that seem suspicious. First, Dream makes a point to say that he kicked Manatreed out of the SMP before Manatreed agreed to leave content creation. I do not think there is any reason why Dream would straight up kick Manatreed if Mana was innocent, because Dream would have known immediately if Mana was River, as the whole theory relies on him knowing River in real life. Some people also questioned how Dream was able to get into contact with the girl in the domestic abuse case so quickly, and claimed that Dream could have only done so if he knew the girl in real life. However, if this situation proved anything, it proved that anyone can find anyone on the internet with the bare minimum information. Personally, I think the biggest piece of evidence to point out Manatreed was probably guilty to some extent was Dream's friend's silence. Many of Dream's friends have spoken out in past dramas, including the Jakishi accusations and Dream's docs being exposed. But when Manatreed was accused and subsequently kicked, nobody said anything. I think the most charitable opinion on their silence is that they do not want their image to be ruined by getting involved in this drama, but if Manatreed was innocent, then there would be little chance of ruining their image. And, as I previously mentioned, they have gotten involved in much messier dramas in the past. There is one last theory that was made up by a person on kiwi farms regarding Manatreed, but I am warning you that no matter what opinion you have of Manatreed right now, you are not going to like this theory. The theory goes that Manatreed was, indeed, River Phoenix. However, the theory also claims that River was innocent in the domestic abuse case. Now wait! Before Dream Stands and Dream Aunties work together to dox me and get me fired from my job as the lead chef at the most prestigious Italian restaurant in Oklahoma, let me explain this thought process. We know that River was homeless in the months leading up to his court case, so he probably did not have money to fight the domestic abuse case. So, there is a possibility he decided to plead guilty and take the lesser punishment even if he was innocent. The American judicial system is pretty notorious for not having a 100% accuracy rate on convictions, so this is not an impossible scenario. This theory would also provide an explanation for the contradictions in Dream's tweet longer. If Manatreed is River, but was innocent of domestic abuse, then what most likely happened is that when Dream fully realized the gravity of the situation, he reached out to River's ex-girlfriend, who either straight up said that River was innocent, or is very clearly lying about what happened. After the talk with River's girlfriend, Dream believed he could confidently say that he has never had a friend who committed domestic abuse. However, Dream could not come out with a statement that was along the lines of, "Here's what really happened," because that would confirm both Dream and Manatreed's docs. So, Dream decided to take the less destructive option for his career and kick Manatreed anyway, a decision that ended up being mutual as, in this scenario, Manatreed was probably feeling a lot of stress about content creation and wanted to quit. As far as I am aware, there is not any proof against this theory, but I think some people still have problems with this theory. They either think this theory is wrong based on the believe all victims mentality, or based on the belief that an inaccurate verdict is pretty uncommon, even if it still occasionally happens. Before I end this video, there is one last thing I want to talk about. I do believe there is a way that Manatreed, and Dream I guess, could have handled this drama better. Something I have neglected to talk about so far is that River Phoenix has a tattoo on one of his hands. Supporters of the River is Manatreed theory claim that the reason Mana wore gloves in his two photos is because he is covering up that tattoo. So, all Mana really has to do to prove he was not River is buy a webcam and show his gloveless hands on stream. He would still wear some mask or facial covering to protect his face, as that is what Rambo does. Some people will probably claim that Manatreed would just use a stunt double, just like Dream allegedly does, but I believe doing this would be enough to satisfy Mana's audience and most bystanders to the situation. So, what did we learn today? I'm not entirely sure, I just thought the situation was really interesting. Either the internet bullied an up-and-coming YouTuber off the internet for false accusations, or one of the biggest YouTubers ever tried to share some of his fame and fortune with a straight-up criminal. It is not every day when you see a situation this crazy happen. Now would be the point of the video where I tell you to not go out and harass Manatreed or River Phoenix, but I genuinely do not know how you could harass them since they have wiped their internet presence. If you have any questions for me about this situation, then leave a comment in the comment section of this video, or message me on Twitter at RealBruhlie. That's it for this video. If you made it this far, you clearly enjoyed the video, so consider subscribing to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you next time.